Welcome to Levity, a series navigating mental health through Judaism during a time of unrest for Israel and the Jewish people. Today we're talking about anxiety. Anxiety is that feeling of worry, unease, or fear that creeps into your everyday life. It can manifest as physical symptoms like a racing heart or sweaty palms, or as intrusive, debilitating thoughts. In the wake of October 7th, 2023, and with rising anti-Semitism and Israel at war, many in the Jewish community are experiencing more anxiety than ever. For many Jews, anxiety has roots in personal and/or familial trauma, making them predisposed to anxious thoughts. Yet, even in the face of such challenges, Judaism offers wisdom and guidance for managing anxiety. Before we dive in, a reminder that this is an educational series and not a replacement for professional mental health services. If you are struggling with your mental health, please seek out help from a professional. The Book of Proverbs, a collection of wisdom from the Hebrew Bible, traditionally attributed to King Solomon, includes a verse that speaks directly to anxiety. It goes, "Anxiety in one's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad." On first reading, this might seem like overly simplistic advice, but let's dive a little deeper. The first part of the verse vividly captures the essence of anxiety. Who hasn't felt like there was a heavy weight on their hearts and minds when feeling anxious? Maybe this King Solomon guy was onto something. And the second part of the verse offers a powerful tool to combat anxiety in the forms of a good word. A good word can be as simple as sharing your anxieties with a friend, family member, therapist, or rabbi who can provide perspective on or help you confront these anxious thoughts. Challenging anxious thoughts can provide a sense of relief and perspective through a technique called fact-checking, where you write out your irrational fears, acknowledge them, and then check the real facts of the situation, which helps you test your assumptions and see if they fit reality. By challenging your anxious thoughts, you can gain a clearer picture of your situation and see that things often aren't as bad or as scary as your apprehensions make them out to be. A good word can also mean socializing with those who share your background or even the same anxieties as you, creating a sense of belonging and social support. Not sure where to have these conversations? Try your local Jewish space, such as a synagogue, Chabad house, or a Jewish community center, which often offer social events and services. This in turn fosters psychological safety, which can be key in reducing anxiety over time. A good word can also refer to acts of positive reinforcement, something as simple as telling a friend you're there for them. While affirmations or uplifting messages might sound corny, research suggests they can elevate mood and reduce anxiety through a process called prosociality, which means exercising behavior that benefits others. In Pirkei Avot, or The Ethics of Our Fathers, a collection of sage advice on how to live a good life, we find the famous statement of Rabbi Tarfon: "It is not your responsibility to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it." The teaching prompts us to tackle our moral obligations without being daunted by the enormity of the task or its ultimate outcome, which we must accept is out of our control. Similarly, anxiety stems from concerns about a future you can't control. While this may seem scary, it is also comforting and liberating, even in relation to the tragic events of 10/7. Anxiety thrives on fear of the unknown. By focusing on what you can control, you can empower yourself and reduce those anxious thoughts. Here are 3 ways you can do that. 1. Pray for or meditate on the safety of Israeli soldiers and those impacted by the conflict in Israel. This fosters a sense of spiritual connection and meaning-making in the face of painful situations. Research suggests both can buffer against anxiety. 2. Read and share stories of triumph and resilience from Jewish history, such as Purim, Hanukkah, or the foundation of the State of Israel. These stories serve as forms of positive reinforcement, reminding you of the Jewish people's enduring perseverance. Exposure to the positive narratives can cultivate optimism and counteract anxiety. 3. Practice the Jewish meditation technique of hitbodedut, which translates to self-seclusion. This involves finding a quiet space for introspection and reflection. You can use this time to contemplate or simply relax and focus on your breath. Allow yourself to connect to something larger than yourself and find a sense of inner peace. Remember, even the heaviest of anxieties can be tamed by the power of a good word and focusing on what you can control. Together, they'll lead to the most powerful anxiety reducer of them all: hope. This has been Levity, a series exploring mental health during a time of unrest for Israel and the Jewish people. Please like and subscribe to never miss an episode, and drop a comment with what topics you'd like us to cover next.